Welcome, children, to the world of biology. Today, we are going to start our biology classes. So, today onwards, mostly every day, I'll be taking your session. And what you have to do, you have to note each and every point, every diagrams, and highlighted portions should also be highlighted by you because I am giving the NCERT contents line by line and point wise. And at the end of the session, or in the if the session will be lengthy, in the next session I'll be giving you a set of questions which will include mainly the conceptual questions. Okay, so please go through the contents and also note down the contents without any mistake, and then get ready to answer the questions. Okay, so let us start the chapter 1, the living world. So the first topic under living world is your diversity in the living world. All of you know what is diversity. So diversity means variety. Okay, so diversity means a variety of organisms, varieties of a living organism. So the living world is extremely wonderful and diverse. And why these varieties are seen? Because the organisms live in many habitats and what are those habitats? The habitats may be your forest, it can be mountain, it can be ocean, it can be lake, it can be desert, it can be hot spring, the extreme conditions, hot springs. So since they are dwelling in different habitats, so different types of organisms are there, and this variety of organisms are the beauty in the natures. Okay, and because of these varieties of organism, nature shows due to diversity, nature shows one, cooperation among the organism. How? You know that there are different types of relationship among the organisms: mutualism, commensalism, amensalism. So somewhere it is competition, somewhere it is predation, one animal eats the other animals, somewhere both the animals are mutually benefited or symbiosis. So in this way, the varieties of organisms in the nature works cooperatively. Okay, then the next thing is shown, the nature shows, that is competition among organisms. So why such competitions? This competition may be for the resources present in the environment, or this may also be, it sometimes with the environment. Like suppose say environmental condition is very harsh, it is not suitable for the organism, then the organism has to compete, it has to struggle. Okay, then next, if resources, always the resources in the environment are limited, so for that limited resources there is always a competition among the organism. Okay, and the third one, that is most important one, is the complex activities inside the cell. If you look back, what is the who are called as living? The living organisms are those which are made up of cells, and the cells are having the metabolism, may it be unicellular or multicellular. Okay, so that metabolism is here mentioned as complex activities. Okay, so when there is complex activities in the cell, then only the organism can compete, the organism can cooperatively work, the organism can adapt with the environment. So all these external activities are the reflection of the complex activities inside the cell. I think it is clear to you. Now come to, there are certain questions about the life. The let us see questions about life. Basically, two types of questions are arised. The two most important question, that is what is living. You are feeling little bit bored, but as you proceed, you will enjoy the chapter. Okay, first few chapters are we also find boring, but I will try to make it enjoyable. And the second question is, what is the purpose of life? Okay, so the first question is scientifically answered by biology. So only this question can be answered by biology. Biology studies the studies these questions scientific. Okay, but the other question is philosophical question, so there is no relation with biology, so biology will not deal with this question. Okay, now let us come to the main topic, that is diversity around us. So you know that in our surrounding many types of organisms are there, that which includes the common type of organisms, the many organisms around us are mainly plants, birds, insects, and other animals. So different types of animals we see, and many organisms are microscopic, and with the development of science we are able to see these organisms also. And as we explore, as more areas explored, a greater variety of organisms are observed. हम जितना जगह को एक्सप्लोर करेंगे, जितना एरिया एक्सप्लोर करेंगे, उतने तरह तरह के ऑर्गेनिज्म हमको दिखेंगे. ठीक है. Let me close the auto rotate mode. Okay. Similarly, if you go into a forest, you will see large number of organisms, varieties of organisms, microorganisms, and big animals, small animals, and varieties of plants, herbs, climbers, creepers, trees. So all varieties of plants will be seen. Now these varieties of organisms are known as each different kind of organism represents a species. Okay, so now come to the species, but this is not the definition of species, children. So this leads to the concept of species. What is species? Every different, but this is not the definition. If what is species is asked, you will not write this one. Okay, I'll give you the another one. uh, every different kind of organism represents a species, and there are about 1.7 to 1.8 million species have been identified. Identified and described. Not only identified, they are also described, means their features are described. So this is according to the data given in your NCERT textbook. Okay, so now what is biodiversity? Now if the question biodiversity will be asked, then what you will write? The variety and number of species around us is called biodiversity. So the content I'm writing inside the box are very very important. So these are highlighted portion. You also highlight this in your copy. Okay. Now next come to, now when we are talking about varieties of organism, then comes the need for naming of the organism. Next one, need for naming the organisms. So why it is needed? Because see, there are varieties of organism, and these organisms should be recognized and studied globally. So if we'll give a local name, जैसे हम कुत्ते को हम जाकर हम फॉरेन कंट्रीज में बोलेंगे कि कुत्ता हमने देखा, so they will not understand. Okay, so it will create a confusion in communication. So mostly we use, while talking about any animal or any plant, we use the common name or the local name. Okay, so what is the problem with that local name? So let us see. Problems with local name. The main problem is that organisms are having different local name in different region. Okay, and this creates confusion in communication. Okay, so that's why it is required to give a scientific name to the organism, and that is called nomenclature. Okay, so now let us discuss what is nomenclature. What is nomenclature? The standard naming of organism is called nomenclature. Remember, standard naming of organisms is called, excuse me, is called nomenclature. Okay, and this is basically the scientific name. So a scientific name is acceptable globally. आप कहीं पर भी जाओ, if you will say the scientific name, they can search in the even in the dictionary, or if a biologist student or if a biology person, then very easily he can know what you are saying about. Sorry. Now next question arises. Now when we'll give them name? Unless and until they are identified. Okay, so next step comes identification. So what is identification? It is the recognizing and correctly describing an organism. This is recognizing and correctly an organism. सॉरी, बार बार आपको डिस्टर्ब कर रही हूँ मैं. Okay, so why I'm saying correctly describing? See, you take a chimpanzee and a gorilla. They're almost same. But if you will say that both are chimpanzee or gorilla, so will it be correct? Will all people will accept this? No. There are some differences. So that's why we have to correctly describe the organism. Then only we can give the correct name to them. Okay. Now come to the international code for naming. So आपका नेमिंग कैसे किया जाता है प्लांट का एंड एनिमल्स का? दिस इज वेरी वेरी important. So now coming to international codes of naming. Please don't leave any point, children. Write each and every point. So for plants, the scientific names of plant follow the international code for botanical nomenclature. Very, very important, children. The short form is ICBN. Okay. So, for naming the plant, there is a international code for botanical nomenclature, and we have to follow the name given by ICBN. Okay. Now, next come to for animals. For animals, the naming, this is another important point. For animals, naming follows international code of zoological nomenclature. That is ICZN. So this is also very important, children. Whatever I am writing in the box, they are very, very important. Now comes binomial nomenclature. All of you know about this. Binomial nomenclature. Okay. So bi means two, nomial means name, and nomenclature means naming. So this is the process of naming in which an organism is given a scientific name which consists of two words. So its meaning, let me tell you the meaning. Its meaning is scientific naming system with two words. Okay, and it was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, very, very important, children. This is the meaning of binomial nomenclature. Now, what are the two parts of the scientific name? Two parts of scientific name. So, what are these two parts? One is generic name, otherwise known as genus, and other is specific epithet. Specific epithet. Okay, or species. I think it is clear to you. Now, let us give one example. For example, the example from your textbook only I am giving you. Mango. Its scientific name is Mangifera indica. Okay. So here Mangifera is the genus and indica is the species epithet. Okay. Now let us come to the rules of binomial nomenclature. Okay, I will give you point wise. The first rule is biological names are usually in Latin. Don't miss any point. Okay. Next. Names are written in italics. When printed. अगर हम प्रिंट कर रहे हैं तो उसको इटैलिक्स में लिखना पड़ेगा. And if when handwritten, both the words are underlined separately. Both the words are underlined separately. Okay, so here you can see I have written, this is handwritten one. Mangifera is the genus name, indica is the species name, and I have underlined it separately. Don't put single underline in that under the two words. Okay, now another rule, the third rule is that the first word, what is the first word? The genus starts with a capital letter. Whereas the second word, what is the second word? That is species. Epithet starts with small letter. So often this question is given, it comes as your 3-mark question and sometimes 5-mark question also, along with the discoverer and the examples. Okay, and sometimes the author's name is also given to this, and if it is given, it is abbreviated it is given in the abbreviated form after the species name. Okay, it is not always present in all names. In some names it is given. If it is given, if you want to write, then you have to write after the species. So for example, let me tell you here, for example, the last point, let me write down. The last point is that author's name is written in abbreviated form after species name. Okay, for example, Mangifera is the species, indica is the genus, then lean. So Mangifera, indica are underlined because it is handwritten. Then lean is given. So lean is the author's name. So here lean indicates Linnaeus. Okay, Linnaeus means Carolus Linnaeus has given this name. That's why his name is added in the abbreviated form, that is lean, after the species. Okay. Now come to classification. Next most important topic, that is classification. So what is classification? It is the grouping of organisms into categories based on similarities. Okay, so organisms having more similarities are put under a single group, and Accordingly, there are different groups we'll be discussing, and depending upon the number of similarities, they are categorized and they are grouped under different groups. Now, why this classification is important? Importance of classification. This also comes as an important question. So please don't forget to write this one. As such, you have to write everything. Why I'm telling this, I don't know. So it makes study of millions of organisms easier. Okay, first point, it makes the study of millions of organisms easier. Then number two, it helps in recognizing relationship among the organism. It helps in recognizing relationship among the organisms. Okay, because we have discussed that always there is some relationship established among the organism and they always function cooperatively, or they may have competition. So unless and until we classify them, it is not so easy to recognize the relationship among them. Okay, so now come to the what is we call taxa. Okay, now come to taxa. What is taxa? We are saying dog. Dog is a taxa. Cat is a taxa. Mammal. This is taxa. So the group of organism having similarities categorized on a particular group, and that group name is known as taxa. Okay, so the rank given to a group of organisms is called taxa. How? Suppose we have taken mammals. So mammals means it is a group of organism which produces milk. Okay, and they are, so this mammal is a taxa, and or you can say it is a taxonomic group. So what are taxa? Taxa are taxonomic groups or categories, and different taxa exist. I'm sorry. At a different level. That we'll discuss as we discuss the hierarchy of classification in details. Okay, so for example, here I am giving a small example like dog. Dog is a mammal, and what are mammals? Mammals are animals. Okay, so here dog is a taxa. It is a taxa. Now mammal is a taxa and animal is also a taxa. This is plural, so singular is taxon. Taxon. Okay, I'm right. Let me write down taxon. Okay, so a single organism is given different taxon at different level. Like this dog is known as a mammal, and this dog is known as a animal. Okay. Now I have discussed about the taxonomic group. Then what is taxonomy? Let us come to taxonomy. It is the science of classification of organisms. Okay, but there are certain bases of classification. So what are these bases of classification? The basis of classification, or you can say taxonomy. It may be external structure, it may be internal structure, it may be cell structure, it is developmental process, then ecological information. So the taxonomy is based on these criteria. Now let us see what are the basic processes in taxonomy. Basic processes in taxonomy. So what are these basics processes? First one is characterization. So first of all, we have to define the character of an organism. So after that, we can identify the organism. So that is identification. Next is identification. So once the organism is identified, now it can be classified. The next step is classification. So once it is classified, whether it is insect, whether it is crustacea, so basing on that, we can now give a specific name to this organism. That is nomenclature. Very, very important, children. I am giving you everything point wise. If you go through NCERT book directly, then you may find the answer to some question very difficult. But here the way I am giving it is very, very easier for you. So please note down each and every point. Now come to the classification process. So if you are getting bored, then I may stop here, or I will finish this chapter. It is your wish. Okay, so let me finish this one because it is a small chapter only, and because so many chapters are there in biology as compared to your physics and chemistry. Okay, now come to the early classification. We will discuss about the classification process. So the ancient human classified the organism based on the food, clothing and shelter. Okay, so that was the early classification. But later on, systematically the organisms are classified. So then comes the term systematics. Very, very important. What is systematic? It is the study of diversity and relationship among the organism. Okay. Now this where from this systematic word is originated? So this systematic word, origin of word systematics. Okay, so it is originated from a Latin word derived from a Latin word systema. Very, very important. Systema means systematic arrangement of organisms. Okay. Now in the classification, what was the contribution of Linnaeus? The Linnaeus has contributed by publishing his book Systema Naturae. So this term was used by Linnaeus to name his publication. So Linnaeus used Systema Naturae, very, very important, Naturae, for his publication. You know that Carolus Linnaeus is known as father of classification. Okay, so the details of classification was first established by him and it was published in his book, that is Systema Naturae. Now what are the modern scope of systematics? Modern scope of systematics. Very, very important, children. The modern scopes are identification, then nomenclature, then classification, and evolutionary relation. This is very, very important. Evolutionary. What happened to this? So the next one is your evolutionary relationship. Okay. Now let us discuss about the taxonomic categories. So see, when we classify one organism, it involves hierarchy. Suppose say I am taking like a dog. So as I have shown you, dog is a mammal, then mammals are animals. So similarly, there is a hierarchy prepared by the, you can say, taxonomists. Okay, and that is called taxonomic hierarchy. So its meaning is, taxonomic categories means the classification involves hierarchy of categories. Okay, and each level is called a taxonomic category or rank. Each level सॉरी, ये थोड़ा नीचे हो गया ना, हैंड राइटिंग खराब हो रहा है. Each level is called a taxonomic category or rank. Okay, now let us see what is taxonomic hierarchy. Hierarchy. Okay, so here I am giving you species, then genus, family, then order, then phylum or division. So division in plant and phylum in animals. Then they belong to kingdom. Okay, suppose say you have identified an organism, then how to explain its hierarchy? First, the species you have identified, then we'll see to which genus they belong. Then a group of genus belongs to family, a group of family belongs to order, a group of order, similar order, belongs to phylum or division in case of plant, and a group of similar phylum or similar division belongs to kingdom. So we'll discuss each and every level in the taxonomic hierarchy. So let us first discuss the species. Species is the basic unit of classification, very very important. Species, it is the basic unit of classification. Okay, and what are these species? The species are the group of organisms with fundamental similarities. Fundamental similarities means the basic similarities. That means the members of a species are very closely resemble each other. So the members resemble very close to each other, and but very close, but they can be distinguished from other species and can be distinguished from other species. Okay, for example, so for example, Mangifera indica, that is mango, Solanum tuberosum, that is potato, then Panthera leo, that is lion. Okay, can you tell me the name I have written is correct? How many of you say that it is correct? But I say it is wrong, because I have written the scientific name and it is handwritten. So I have to underline the species name and generic name separately. So I have not underlined this one. So that was the mistake I have done. Okay. Similarly, take the example of Homo sapiens. Okay. So here Homo is the genus and sapiens is the species. Okay, now come to what is genus. Genus is a group of closely related species. Group of closely related species. Okay, and for example, like here, same example I am showing you. Solanum tuberosum, Solanum nigrum. So Solanum is the genus under which different species are there. Okay, so for example, potato and brinjal belong to genus Solanum. Okay, so potato and brinjal, they are two different species, but they belong to a single genus, that is Solanum. Similarly, your another example, lion, tiger, leopard belong to genus Panthera. Okay, so this way the genus are explained. Okay, now next come to the family. Next hierarchy or the next rank is family. So family is a group of related genera. Okay, for example, Solanum, Petunia, Datura. So they belong to a family called Solanaceae. Okay, so these are genus. Solanum is a genus we have studied. Similarly, Petunia is a genus. Datura is a genus. Now, a group of related genus belongs to a family. So, this is for example of a plant. Now, come to the example of animal. Okay, this one is for plant. In animal, Panthera and Felis belongs to family Felidae. Very, very important, children. So Panthera, it includes a tiger, lion, leopard. Felis, it includes cat. So there is a lots of similarities between, they are related. बोलते हैं ना, मम्मी को नहीं देखा तो मौसी को देखो, मौसी को, so there is a saying. तो बिल्ली is the मौसी and tiger is the मम्मी. ठीक है, तो they are related you can say genera. So they belong to a single family, that is Felidae. Okay, now for example, cat belongs to family Felidae, dog belongs to family Canidae. So आपको बुक में जो दिया है वही मैं दे देती हूँ, that so that no point can be missed. So cat family is Felidae. Okay, and dog family is Canidae. They're carnivorous इसीलिए उनको वो कहा जाता है Canidae. Canine teeth is they are well developed. Okay, then the next hierarchy comes your order. What is order? Group of related families. very easy to remember. बट आप जब बुक देखते हो ना पूरा कंफ्यूज हो जाते हो, बुक में पूरा ऐसे टाइप दिया है, सो यू गेट कंफ्यूज. सो हियर लेट अस गिव एग्जांपल फ्रॉम प्लांट. फॉर एग्जांपल convolvulaceae, CEAE, okay, and Solanaceae. These are two family. These family belongs to polymonials. Belongs to poly. Okay, so polymonials is a order. Okay, now come to animal example. Felidae and Canidae. That is dog and cat belong to order carnivore. Okay, now next one is class. This is the group of related orders. Group of related orders. Okay, for example, order Primata and Carnivora belongs to class Mammalia. Similarly, the next level is phylum. Okay, so phylum, group of related classes. This is in animals. The term phylum is used in animals. For example, your for example, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. They belong to phylum Chordata. Okay. So this is the example in animals. Now come to in plants. The name is given the name is division. So in plants, it is called division. Okay, so the phylum, instead of phylum, the term division is used. Now what is the highest level? The highest level is kingdom. Okay, so what is kingdom? This is the highest taxonomic category. Okay, and there are so initially there were two categories only, two highest categories. That is, one is kingdom, Animalia, includes all animal phyla. Phyla is the plural of phyla. The next one is kingdom Plantae, includes all plant divisions. Okay. So what is the main feature of taxonomic hierarchy? Let me tell you. लोअर कैटेगरीज मतलब आपका स्पीसीज के बीच में सो स्पीसीज आर द लोएस्ट कैटेगरी मीन्स स्पीसीज मीन्स मोर सिमिलैरिटीज हायर कैटेगरीज मीन्स फ्यूअर सिमिलैरिटीज okay, and classification becomes more difficult at the higher level. So here one thing we have to remember, lower category more similarities. सो ज़्यादा सिमिलैरिटीज होगा तो हमको उनको ग्रुप करने में आसान होगा, बट हायर कैटेगरीज फ्यूअर सिमिलैरिटीज. जैसे आप स्पीसीज लोगे तो उनमें ज़्यादा सिमिलैरिटी होगा, बट इफ यू टेक फाइलम देन very few similarities will be there, and then it will be very difficult to identify them or group them. So that's why classification becomes more difficult at a higher level. So this is most important. Why it is difficult, that you can explain, because lower category is based on more similarities and higher categories are based on fewer similarities. Okay, then some scientific names are given as per your textbook only. I am giving you examples of taxonomic categories. So let us take human. These terms are a bit difficult, but you have to remember. Scientific name is Homo sapien. So you have to underline it. Don't forget this one. Here genus is Homo. Then family, species is sapien. So family is Hominidae. Then order Primata. Then class Mammalia. Then phylum Chordata. Okay. The next example is housefly. These examples are given in your textbook, so you have to remember this. So its scientific name is Musca domestica. Don't forget to underline. So here genus is, species is domestica. Genus is Musca. Family Musidae. Then order Diptera. Class Insecta. Phylum Arthropoda. Okay, then the next example is mango, the very common one. Scientific name Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica. Don't forget to underline this one. Then here, what is genus? Genus is Mangifera. Then family Anacardiaceae. Order Sapindales. Then class Dicotyledone. Dicotyledone. And division, because this is plant, so division is there. No phylum. Division is Angiospermae. Okay. Then another plant example is wheat. Its scientific name is Triticum aestivum. Underlined. Then genus is Triticum. The next is family. Family is Poaceae. Then order Poales. Class Monocotyledone. And division Angiospermae. Okay. So this is about your diversity and classification, and this is the end of your chapter. And I think it is a bit boring for you, but and this creates and you get panic by studying this chapter. So many difficult terms are there, so don't get panic, children, because only few chapters are there in which you have to remember these difficult terms. But after that you will enjoy. The cell is there, biomolecules are there, then plant processes are there, animal processes are there, and really we can understand your body, the plant body, and they are very interesting. So have patience, and in next session will I will be giving you some important questions. So till then, bye bye, thank you.